This episode of Pool Magazine podcast is proudly sponsored by Ledge Lounger, the leaders in outdoor living and in-pool furniture. Ledge Lounger believes outdoor living inspires life's most meaningful moments, which is exemplified in their new collection, Autograph. Want to learn more about the Autograph collection? Check out what's new and visit our website at ledgeloungers.com.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Pool Magazine podcast. Here at Pool Magazine, we tend to chat with a lot of elite designers and builders. I've had Shane LeBlanc on the show and Randy Angel, Brian Van Bauer, Ryan Hughes, and some of the biggest names in the pool and spa industry have been on the show. But we also like to focus on some of the up-and-comers who are not necessarily on the radar of the entire industry, but are definitely on their way up in terms of the recognition and respect that they're drawing from their peers. And I have two people on the show today that are definitely on that trajectory, and we're thrilled to have them with us. JC and Daniela Rodriguez, husband and wife team, the founders of Element Pool Company in San Antonio, Texas. So happy to have you with us today on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Joe.
Now, you and I, we go back a few years. I think we probably first met back in, 2015 or so? And you were working with your dad back then, right?
Sounds about right. Yep, we're working with my dad. That's when I first forayed into the swimming pool industry.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you first got started in the industry and, what your core specialty is nowadays.
Yeah, so initially, to be honest, I was not interested in the pool industry at all. My dad started his company back in 2003, 2004, and had been working in the pool industry for a long time. But growing up, kind of wanted to do my own thing. Went to school for something completely different. And then after a couple of years in the work field, I was kind of like, pool industry doesn't look that bad. And so that's when I actually stepped into it and learned a lot from my dad, who had been in the industry for a long time, and was able to use a lot of his basically recognition at that point to step in and start making a name for myself as well.
What was your dad's pool company called back then? It was Silver Springs, right?
Silver Springs, that's right. Yep, in El Paso, Texas.
Yeah, I remember that. Guess we first met, when I was working at Premier Pools and Spas, and you guys came on as a franchise at that time, right?
That's right. Yeah, we were wanting to expand past El Paso over to San Antonio, and the market was available. And so we jumped in, and that's where we first met, and I guess started creating a great relationship.
Yeah, talk about, how it's funny, this industry, you always reconnect with the same people again and again. We met in Dallas and then again in San Antonio. I noticed you were on the cover of Pool Pro magazine. Let's talk about that a little bit. You and Daniela were on the cover in 30 under 40, right?
Yes, we were, and really honored to be in that position. I think it's been a lot of a dual, effort between Danny and myself to get to the point where we're at, and came as a surprise, really, to be chosen on the 30 under 40. We both made it, and in fact, Danny was recognized as Rookie of the Year.
Oh, that's
awesome. I was completely shocked about that. I saw that there was the chance to win Rookie of the Year. And I think a colleague of mine even mentioned before the show, what if you won Rookie of the Year? And I actually laughed out loud. I was like, no way, I wouldn't, no way. And then sure enough, I opened the magazine and saw. So it was a surprise and an honor, really.
Well, it's good recognition for you, Danny. Honestly, women are on their way up in this industry. And I feel like, in a mostly male-dominated industry, women are so under-recognized.
Oh, yes, definitely. We have to make our elbow room in the industry and make a name for ourselves. So I was really happy to step up to the plate for all the girls out there in the pool industry and us.
Well, talk about terrific recognition. It shows, that you're doing good things over there at Element Pool Company. And that's the new company that you guys started up. So, why don't we talk a little bit more about that and how you guys got started and decided, to start up in the San Antonio market now?
Yeah, so after Premier Pools, we realized that we kind of want to go into the custom swim pool aspect here in San Antonio because there's such a large market. And then we realized that along with being a large market, there's bigger competition as well. And there's a lot of the top builders in the United States are in this area. Keith Stars, Cody Pools, huge builders, build 300 pools a year or more. And we wanted to make a name for ourselves in terms of the product that we deliver to our customers. And we realized that a lot of that came from the relationship that we built with them versus making it a, hey, one-off project, goodbye, we don't talk to you ever again. We realize there's a long-term relationship, and that's really what the focus of our company is based on, is building that family around Element Pool Company.
Sure. I mean, for the customers that you work with, it's the process is so important. Having a pool has been on their wish list for quite a while. So this is like probably maybe the single most expensive thing that they may ever purchase for their home.
Right.
Yeah, we're definitely cognizant of that. And one of the things that I tell all the customers is we're not going to just do one design and say, hey, this is it, take it or leave it, and it's going to cost this much. Because, like you said, a lot of customers have been dreaming about this for a long time. And we want to make sure that we get it right. And it's ultimately them who they're going to be living with it after we're gone from the backyard. And so we tell a lot of customers, hey, we'll make 100 different design changes if we need to in order to make sure that we're getting the right design in the right budget so that when they walk outside, they're ecstatic and happy about their backyard.
Well, walk me through your process a little bit, JC. I mean, say, it's Mr. and Mrs. Jones and they're looking for a new pool in their backyard. I mean, how do you sit down with the client and what's your process for working out what their budget should be and what they should be investing in terms of their outdoor living environment?
Yeah, absolutely. So it all starts off with the phone call, right? They always call in. Danny's usually the one that kind of navigates them, gives them a little bit of the introductory information, and we let them know, hey, we're a little bit more custom than your drop-in fiberglass pools or cookie cutter concrete swimming pools, and kind of give them a little bit more information. She schedules an on-site appointment with them, so that's when I go meet with them, and I think that's super important. There are some companies that I've heard of, especially in the last 2 years during the pandemic, when everything was crazy, that were just giving online or over the phone quotes, virtual pricing, and to us, it never made sense because you don't understand the necessities of that backyard, right?
Sure.
Every backyard's going to be different. And so even throughout the pandemic, we were interested in going to the backyard, even though the customer stayed in the house and we had a phone call with them while we were in the backyard. Our goal is always to understand, hey, what's the house calling for, that backyard calling for, and what are the customers looking for? And, we get a sense of who they are as a family. Are they looking for a pool where the kids can grow up and splash and
Kind of
play around?
lifestyle.
Their lifestyle, exactly. Or are they looking for a cocktail pool where they just want to host people, or a statement piece, right? And so you get a wide range of customers, and so in talking to them, you start understanding, hey, what's important to them, what can fit in that budget that they want to stick in, or do they have to expand it, and what makes sense, what materials make sense, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, I mean, well, you primarily build in the San Antonio, New Braunfels market. I mean, so I would assume that you have a really good understanding about like what a base price in-ground pool costs in your market. I mean, say Mrs. Jones is asking, I'm just price shopping at this point. What's an average pool go for in your range? I know prices have gone up substantially
Yeah.
the last few years. So I mean, maybe those prices are a little bit different than what consumers have seen online researching within the last 2 years. So give me a barometer. I mean, what are customers looking at these days?
Yes, I mean, I wish we could still build pools for what we were building them 2 years ago, right? We'd be selling a whole bunch more pools. But as prices have gone up, if we talk about a very basic standard swimming pool with no extra bells or whistles, your average size pool in the San Antonio area is going to be about 15 feet wide by 30 feet long. Um, and so we're going to be starting somewhere in that $60,000 range and going up from there, depending on the requirements of that backyard. And then most of the time, if we're talking about a pool and spa combo and extra decking area, most your average swimming pool is going to end up somewhere in that $120,000 to $150,000 range.
Well, let's get deep into the weeds now. I mean, like these customers have other things that they want to add to the project. So let's say they want to add on some higher echelon features like lighting. All right. So like, let's say I want a PAL lighting system with DMX controllers, and I want all the bells and whistles that come with being able to automate and control the pool from my phone. I mean, what am I looking at in terms of upgrading to some of those finer features that I see in some of the resort style pools nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what I call a double-edged sword on a custom swimming pool, right? Because you can get as custom as you want, and you can start slowly adding power lighting, automation, ozone systems. Just there's so many different things you can do, and you can very easily price yourself in the $400,000 range and up, depending on what you're looking for.
Well, I
And
want the
so,
pool that I saw on Instagram, just like everybody else, JC. So, what are
hey,
we,
we
what
can
are we, what are we
absolutely build it
talking
for you.
about?
Build you whatever pool you want.
All right, all right. Well, here, some of the pools that I've seen that you're building are really, really spectacular in terms of the features and amenities that you're putting in some of these outdoor living environments. And that's really what you're creating is less of a swimming pool and more of a cohesive outdoor living environment that's meant for a multiple variety of different purposes.
Yeah,
Nice.
you hit the nail on the head. It's the swimming pool industry has come a long way. Even in the time that I remember growing up, seeing what my dad was designing and what was being built at that time to what it is today, it's completely transformed from just a hey something to go jump in, goes from shallow into really deep end, and you have a diving board. Now it's all about the details and the design aspect of things.
Well, one of the pools that you built recently that really caught my eye was this geometric shape pool that has like a really big raised spa in there, and it has like a nice tanning ledge, and it has ledge loungers in there. It's really, really well thought out. I was hoping we could take a look at that project and maybe discuss some of the elements and some of the forethought that went into planning this backyard.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I'm looking at right here is just a really great example of using all of these different elements in the backyard to create a few different destinations for the homeowner, right? Like you got the fire pit off to the side, and you got a really nice vanishing edge pool where the line of sight is just really clean. You can't really see the catch basin. It's just a lot of great elements in the planning and scope of this project that really make it shine.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, this was a really awesome project. Obviously, there was a lot of groups involved in making sure that this came out right. Like I was saying earlier, is that one of our, I guess, priorities is making sure that we're collaborating to make sure that the design is coming out as best as possible. So there was inputs from a lot of different directions in this project where the customer wanted all the features, wanted to make sure that he had a great entertainment area and different areas to be around. And so we had a lot of flexibility as to what we could do there. And that led to the interior finish. That's actually blue granite pebble sheen from Pebble Tech. The large oversized Baja shelf, the 360 overspill spa, the infinity edge, and the fire pit area.
You got some great stuff going on in that pool. Ledge Lounger's signature collection is definitely part of that outdoor living design. Great how you incorporated fire into this. I mean, that's what homeowners want nowadays. It's just that combination of fire and water that makes it so appealing and really makes the backyard a more exciting place to entertain guests and family.
Yeah, so the fire bowls are from USA Fire.
Yeah, they got a great line of products over there. The Lava Rock is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Fire features aren't used very often, but when they are and the customer has the budget to add them in, it definitely makes a statement.
Give them all the elements.
There you go.
Yeah, that's exact company is Element Pool Company. It's like bringing all those elements together that really makes this a really cohesive, sophisticated, contemporary backyard that I think a lot of homeowners are looking for nowadays.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I wanted to talk to you about is you don't just build residential pools, you build commercial pools as well. Isn't that a fact?
Yeah, that's right. We're lucky enough to have gotten into the commercial side as well, where there's sometimes a little less design involved because either an architect's already involved and they've got an idea of what they want to see back there. But there's still collaboration of hey, what's the best way to produce that to get the final result that's wanted.
Yeah, I know one job that you tackled a while back was for the Air Force. Like you were involved with a big remodel job for them. Maybe you could talk to me a little bit about what you did.
Yeah, so we remodeled Lackland Air Force Base training facility, and this was, for example, one of those jobs where all the specs it was all specced out. They knew exactly what they wanted, what equipment, what liner, or how to solve their problems. They just didn't have necessarily the manufacturer of the liner. And so in the pool industry, there's a whole bunch of different options of products for swimming pools and interior finishes. And this one, the government specifically wanted a vinyl liner. This was a Olympic-sized swimming pool. So we had to kind of find a manufacturer that had the capability of creating that much liner and also installing it, because liners are a little bit outside our typical installation. And so we ended up finding Natari, that is a vinyl liner manufacturer and steel fabricator. So they actually make the steel gutters that goes around the swimming pools as well, and steel swimming pools. And so we partnered up with them to install the new gutter system, new liner, and then our crews installed the new equipment for Lackland Air Force Base.
It sounds like a really big job. I mean, how long does something like that typically take when you're taking on a higher scale job, like a commercial project like that?
So that specific job actually took us 8 months to build from start to finish. Wow. And that was pre-pandemic. So I'd be afraid to say that right now it'd probably take longer than 8 months.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, consumers got problems getting their hands on just a regular size liner, never mind
yeah, exactly.
Pool liner.
That's right. And really getting to know Natari during that process was really cool, because it's a process that we don't partake in very often residentially. Most of our interior finishes are either pebble or quartz, and seeing how they did it was really cool to see that side of the industry.
Awesome. You're still a fairly new pool company. I mean, you guys have only been in business for a few years, but you're still making a real great name and a reputation for yourself for doing some really custom over-the-top pools. And I see a lot of great potential in some of the work that you've got going on. I follow your Instagram quite a bit, so I know that you guys are involved in some great stuff. I mean, where do you see the future of your company heads in the next 5-10 years?
Well, we currently are what I'd consider a small company versus a lot of family-owned company. As I mentioned earlier, San Antonio has a lot of big name builders, right? That they're building 300, 400 pools a year. And one of the things that we take pride on is that relationship that we're building with the customers. So we really, really like that. And as we grow, we don't want to lose that. And so, in the next 5 to 10 years, we obviously want the company to grow and bring on more people, but still keep that relationship with the customers. And that's the tricky part that we definitely want to kind of hone in on and focus. And the people that we bring on, make sure that they have that as their goal as well, is building up relationships. Yeah.
I think that's how you grow your team, though, is that you got to bring on like-minded people that see your vision and identify with, that personal approach that you have towards working with customers on their ultimate vision for their backyard, rather than trying to churn a lot of different pools in the ground,
I think what we want to focus on as well is creating the culture within our company. So that way, anyone that we bring on, they feel that purpose to pass on to the homeowners. Since again, we aren't the ones that are living in that backyard, but we want all of our future employees to have that really purposeful mindset towards this is something that our customers have possibly been wanting for years, and it might be a dream of theirs. And to be very cognizant of that and work closely with each and every one of our clients, so their backyard is as unique as each client is. So I think that's something that we definitely want to implement in the future as well when we bring on more people in.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple of conversations about this for sure. I mean, I know that when we were in San Antonio chatting, that you mentioned that one of your biggest goals was to really service your community and provide a good service for your area of San Antonio, as opposed to, it being a less personalized experience where they didn't really feel like you were giving them the time and attention that their project deserved.
That's right. Exactly. There are times, and yeah, I'll be honest, sometimes this industry can be overwhelming, right? With fires at every construction job site, and you're trying to put all the fires out, but each project does require a certain amount of time to make sure that you're providing the product that you guaranteed and told your customer.
Well, I guess for you, it was more about, making sure that your community was well served rather than hitting a specific sales number or a quota,
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's great what you guys are doing, and I got a lot of respect for, starting up a pool company in a really competitive market like San Antonio. It takes a lot of guts. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today, and I really appreciate, you guys weighing in on, what pools cost in your market, what homeowners are looking for. I mean, that stuff is really great information to share with people.
That's
Thanks
what
for
we're
having
here
us
for.
on. Yeah.
You've just been listening to Pool Magazine Podcast. Today's episode was proudly sponsored by the new Ledge Lounger Autograph Collection, which features a robust catalog of new chaise lounges, chairs, headrest pillows, and side tables. The Autograph Collection is a sophisticated, reimagined look for contemporary in-pool and outdoor living furniture. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast.